Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who, story number 73, the penultimate episode for the Third Doctor, The Monster of Peladon. So realistically, like this episode, this whole story did not need to be made. It wasn't terrible, but it's a sequel to The Curse of Peladon, which is actually my favorite Third Doctor episode. I really enjoyed it, because like it introduces Alpha Centauri and it has Patrick Troughton's son in there, and it's just an overall good story. Especially like when the Ice Warriors show up and you're instantly like, oh, they're going to be the villains for this, and it turns out that they're not. So this one, which now we have Sarah Jane rather than Jo, it's 50 years later, which I don't know if that was the initial plan or they just couldn't get Troughton to return as the king or what, because they never even say what happens. They're just like, oh yeah, it's been 50 years and this is his daughter, who she only looks like she's about 20. So it's all sorts of weird. But overall, like, as you continue through the story, it's almost the exact same. Alpha Centauri's in there just because we have to have the familiar face. The problem with this story is that it's the twist that you were expecting the first time, where now the Ice Warriors really are the villains. And once you start picking up on that, you're like, okay, so this is exactly what I thought the first one was going to be, but now you're actually doing it. And so it just kind of falls into a whole cliche. We see the spirit of Agador return, and he does his funky little rhyme. They have some really good scenes about like women's liberation, and that's been one of my big complaints about Doctor Who from the beginning, is the way they kind of treat their female characters. And I love how Sarah Jane is like, there's nothing like just about a woman. Like, you're the queen and people have to listen to you. Like, stand up for yourself. And it has some really good scenes, and then they almost immediately like just kind of throw it all aside. So overall, I think this could have been a really good story, especially if it was more of a direct sequel to The Curse of Peladon, where we actually saw the king return and stuff like that. Or if it had been a little bit stronger and they didn't use the Ice Warriors as a scapegoat. But whatever. So for those who have seen it, what did you think about it compared to the original? What do you think about it as the penultimate episode? Go ahead, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time for the finale, Planet of Spiders.